Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for week 1 of the NFL season. It's finally here, man, and I'm so excited that the NFL's back, guys. We've got the season kicking off on Thursday night, this Thursday, with a game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I'm making this video a couple days early. I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon, so it's we're about 48 hours or so until kickoff on Thursday night, but figured might as well go ahead and get a video up since there's already a ton of props up for Thursday night's game. I was able to go through the board, find 2 early plays I liked, and as always, we're going to break down these plays, guys, and we're going to share why I like them. Now, before we do get started, make sure that you guys hit that like button down below if you enjoyed these Prizepicks videos. Hit that subscribe button as well, and if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, make sure that you go sign up, use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play $5. You're going to get $50 worth of free lineups instantly added to your account. So Prizepicks is going to give you $50 in free lineups just for playing $5. Easy way to kickstart that bankroll. Use those free lineups they give you, and hopefully you'll win some money and you can start to build up that bankroll on Prizepicks. And I do want to shout out Prizepicks because they do have a free square available for Week 1 of the NFL season. As you can see, Dak Prescott's pass yards is set at 0.5. And this is a free pick for everyone. So if you have a Prizepicks account already, this is available to you. If you don't have a Prizepicks account yet, well, this is just another incentive to sign up. Anytime these sites do promotions like this where they give out free picks, free squares, max discounts, you want to be playing those. It's pretty much a free pick that you can have, and then you just have to find another play you like to pair with that, and you can easily double your money up. So definitely check out Prizepicks, guys, and again, use that free square, use that promo code NOAH when you sign up so you get those $50 worth of free lineups. And then I do also want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we are partnered up with Sleeper as well. And you guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. So whatever you put in on your first deposit, Sleeper will match up to $100. If you want to deposit $100, they'll give you an additional $100 to play with. So now you've got a $200 bankroll to work with. You can try and build that bankroll up over on Sleeper. But if you guys don't know what Sleeper is, they're just a DFS pick'em app. They're very similar to Prizepicks. You pick more or less on player projections. You build out your lineup. You can do up to an 8-pick lineup on Sleeper. You can mix and match sports. You can win up to 100 extra money. Go check them out, guys. And again, make sure that you sign up with promo code NOAH. But yeah, guys, it's here, man. The NFL season's finally back. We've gotten through the dog days of summer. We've had a long stretch of about 2 or 3 months with just baseball, just MLB. I enjoy MLB, but it definitely gets a little bit, it's a grind, to do MLB content for just like 3 months straight. It does get kind of overwhelming and just, it just gets, it gets tiring, I would say. But man, with the NFL back, with college football back, it's the best time of the year. And we got NBA coming up in a month or two. Obviously, I love NBA season. It's probably my favorite sport to do props and to do content for. But NFL season I love as well, and we got some props to talk about here for this game on Thursday night. So let's go ahead and break them down. So the first prop that I like Thursday night is a fantasy score prop. So on Prizepicks, if you're not aware, if you're maybe new to Prizepicks, Prizepicks does offer fantasy score projections. And for those of you that don't know, fantasy score is basically just your typical fantasy football scoring. I'm sure everyone that's watching this video has probably played fantasy football at some point in their life, whether it be a season-long league or a daily fantasy game or whatever it may be. But if you're looking for the fantasy score chart and you want to see how fantasy points are calculated, you can see right here. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only the only thing I should say is that it is a full PPR scoring system, so you do get a full point per reception. Everything else is your typical standard fantasy football scoring. So the fantasy score line that I do like for Thursday night that I feel like is a little bit low is Saquon Barkley, and we're going to take his line more than 17.5 fantasy score. Now, Saquon Barkley last season was one of the top fantasy running backs. I believe he was actually, he was the #1 overall fantasy running back last year. He had a huge season. I think he had a career high in rushing yards or got close to that line. He had that time towards the end of the season. He had a chance to break a record, and he decided not to. But Saquon had a huge year last year on this Eagles team, and he's poised to have another big year this year. He's got a great offensive line behind him. He plays in a run-heavy offense. The Eagles last year were I think they were actually the most run-heavy team in the league. So it just sets up as such a good spot for Saquon. They're home favorites here against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, we saw, just traded away Micah Parsons, literally a couple days ago. And without Micah Parsons, I think over the last 4 years, in the games that Micah Parsons has missed, the Cowboys have had like one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Like their defense with Micah Parsons versus without, it's a just night and day difference. So I'm expecting this Cowboys defense to be really bad this year. They were really bad against the run last year, especially when Micah Parsons missed. He was out for some games last year. But the Cowboys have had a struggling run defense the last few seasons. This is a spot where Saquon should be in line to have a lot of success. He should be really efficient in this matchup. He should get a lot of work, a lot of work here, a lot of volume. You look at like some of his prop lines for this game, and they're set like really, really high. So clearly the sports books are expecting Saquon to have success in this matchup. I mean, he's got a 93.5 rush yards prop. His rush plus receiving yards is set at 114.5. His rush attempts is set at 19, so he's expected to get close to 20 touches here, if not over 20 touches. And he's favored to score a touchdown. His 0.5 rush plus receiving touchdown line on Prizepicks is a goblin. And for those of you that don't know, the goblin basically just means that it's more likely to go over. So if you take that prop, you get a reduced payout. But I like taking his fantasy score because I think if he gets to close to 100 yards, which is about where his line's at, if he scores a touchdown, that's probably going to put him over this fantasy score line. And then you have to factor in he might catch a couple passes. He does have a receptions line set at 2. If he catches a couple passes, that's going to be an additional 2-3 points, however many passes he does catch. But it just sets up as such a good spot for Saquon here as a big home favorite and a run-heavy offense. Playing against a Cowboys team that I expect to be really bad defensively this year, especially against the run. Last season, like we said, they were really bad run defense last year. I think it's a really good spot for Saquon. Like him for more than 17.5 fantasy score. And then the other prop that I like on the other side of the game, on the Cowboys side, we're going to look at a targets prop on George Pickens, and I like George Pickens for more than 6.5 targets. Now, targets is a line or is a projection type that I don't think every sportsbook offers, but a lot of the DFS sites do offer some of these kind of more niche markets like targets. You can see a lot of the other markets that Prizepicks has up, like rush yards per carry, punts, stuff like this. Like this is stuff that some sports books don't offer, but that's a good thing about playing on some of these DFS apps like Prizepicks. They can offer a lot of different markets, and they have a targets line up for George Pickens at 6.5, and I do like the over here. I do like Pickens for more than 6.5 targets in the spot. Now Pickens obviously playing for a new offense this year on the Cowboys, but I expect this Cowboys team to be very, very pass heavy. I mean, last year they were already a very pass heavy offense. They had the third most pass attempts in the league last year, and you got to think they didn't have Dak Prescott for half their games last season because Dak was injured. With Dak, there's a good chance the Cowboys, if Dak is healthy the whole season, there's a very good chance the Cowboys lead the league in pass attempts per game. You look at Dak Prescott's pass attempts line for this game, and it's set at 36.5. So the sports books are expecting a ton of pass attempts for Dak here. The Cowboys, they don't have much of a running back room. Javonte Williams is expected to be the starting running back for the Cowboys, but I mean Javonte Williams last year on the Broncos was not very good, not very efficient. And then they have a rookie in Jaden Blue. They have a washed up Miles Sanders. It's really hard to tell how much success, if any success, the Cowboys will have running the ball this year, and especially against this Eagles team that was very good against the run last season. So it just sets up as a spot where the Cowboys are going to be forced to throw a bunch, and I expect George Pickens to be a top target for Dak Prescott. Now, sure, CeeDee Lamb, you expect to lead this team in targets, and most games, most weeks, you expect CeeDee Lamb to lead the team in targets, but I think George Pickens is going to be right behind him. George Pickens, throughout his career, on the Steelers, he's been a target earner. He's been a guy that has been able to earn targets at a high clip. He had a high target share on the Steelers last year. Now, sure, his competition for targets is higher, higher this year. He's going to have to compete with, CeeDee Lamb. He's going to have to compete with Jake Ferguson. But you look at the other pass catchers on this Cowboys team, the running backs, I don't know how much they're really going to throw to the running backs, if at all. The other wide receivers, Kevontae Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, those guys are not high volume target receivers. Those are not guys that you expect to get a lot of volume in this offense. So we could see if Dak Prescott has 35 pass attempts here, there's a very good chance that 20 of his 35 pass attempts are going to George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I think those two guys are just going to dominate the target share in this offense. And then the other targets will probably, you'll see some for Jake Ferguson, some for the other wide receivers, maybe a couple for the running backs, but I think George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are going to be the guys getting a lot of volume in this Cowboys offense. Pickens, again, in his career has been a good target earner, and now he's playing in a pass-heavy offense, or what we expect to be a very pass-heavy offense. when he was on the Steelers were not a very pass-heavy offense. Like, they were a team that kind of liked to play slow. They like to run the ball. That's going to be different on the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys I expect to be a pretty explosive offense, and I think the Cowboys this year, if they have any success, it's probably going to be because of their offense. It's just going to be because they outscore teams. I think their defense is definitely going to struggle, but the offense is going to carry them. Dak's going to have to carry them if he can stay healthy. George Pickens, I expect to be a high-volume target earner in this offense, and I do like him for more than 6.5 targets in this spot. And I was looking at some other DFS apps. One of the DFS apps that does give out target props is Underdog, and right now on Underdog, they do have George Pickens set at 6.5 targets, but they have the multiplier set at 0.79x, favoring the over. So, like, if you were to take George Pickens over 6.5 targets on Underdog right now, you would be getting a much lower payout because Underdog is viewing this as a line that should be favored towards the over, whereas on Prizepicks, it doesn't matter if you take the over or the under, it pays out the same, at least right now. They could bump the line, maybe they will, but right now, while it's at 6.5 on Prizepicks, I do like Pickens for more than 6.5 targets here. So these are going to be the two props, guys, that we do roll with for Thursday Night Football, start of the NFL season, Cowboys and Eagles. This is going to be a fun game, I think, and I think it's going to be a great NFL season. I'm super excited the NFL's back. We do have a game on Friday as well, Chiefs and Chargers. So not only do we have the season kicking off Thursday night, but the day after that we have another NFL game on Friday night. So be on the lookout for NFL content all this week. We're going to have a video. Obviously, this video is going to be for Thursday Night Football, but I'll definitely be doing a video for the Friday night game, for the Chiefs-Chargers game. I believe that game's being played in Brazil. And then we do have the full Sunday slate of games. We got Monday Night Football, which I'll do a video for. And then don't forget, we also have college football on Saturdays, and I'm going to be doing college football content as well. So expect to see a lot of NFL content, a lot of college football content coming out on the channel over the next few months. Probably done doing MLB content, just now that we have NFL, we have college football kind of fully in ramp and in rhythm. But we'll have some NBA content coming out as well in the next few months. But I'm so excited, man, the NFL's back. I know a lot of you guys probably are as well. This is the best time of the year if you're a sports fan. NFL starting up, college football starting up, NBA coming soon. Like, this is the best time of the year. So hopefully we can make some money this NFL season. Hopefully I can help you guys out. As always, I do appreciate you guys watching these Prizepicks videos and supporting the content that I do put out here on YouTube. If you guys do enjoy the videos that I put out here on YouTube, just do one thing for me and hit that like button. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. And again, guys, if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, be sure that you go sign up for Prizepicks. Use that promo code NOAH when you do. And again, when you play $5, you'll get $50 worth of free lineups instantly added to your account. And also use that Dak Prescott free square if you haven't used that yet. But that's all I got for Thursday night, guys. Good luck. Let's make some money this NFL season. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.